Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Emily. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm really excited about it. When it goes live, it will be my 35th birthday. Woohoo! So I want to start a project in regards to my reading. I have seen this done by multiple people, specifically Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day, I think is her channel name. She'll be linked below. She did a 40 books by her 40th birthday, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is perfect. I have 5 years. I think I did the math, and if I do 40 books in 5 years, it's like 6 books, 7 books, 8 books, something like that. Yeah, I'm a math tutor. Yeah, I know, I get it. Very ironic. Anyway, so I have been doing a lot of research on different books that I might find interesting. I really want to expand my reading more than what I have done previously. I wanted to find new authors. I wanted to do a lot more classics. So these books are kind of all over the place. I asked people that know me are going to laugh at this, but I asked ChatGPT. Not my favorite tool to use, but I asked it. I was curious, and I learned about a lot of new books based on my preferences and sort of the books that I like and the books that I don't like. And so I came up with some really fun books that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. They're kind of all over the place. I should have organized them better. I didn't, whatever. And so we'll just kind of go from there. I don't know a lot about these. They were just recommended, and as I read sort of the synopsis or what they were about, and the covers looked interesting, I said, okay, cool, that sounds good. So that's sort of where I'm going with this. Yes, okay, so the number one is Grant by Ron Chernow. I have it over here, actually. It's a chunker one, but it's a biography on Ulysses S. Grant. That didn't sound right for a second. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so I'm really excited to learn more about that US president. I love books set during Civil War time, and so knowing that his background was related to that is going to be very interesting. I'm excited for it. So that's my first one. The second one is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I have never read a Charles Dickens book before, and that's something that I want to change here in the next 5 years. So we'll see how I like it. I obviously know a lot of like the Christmas Carol. I know the backstory on that one. I've never read it, but I know the backstory. I've seen the Mickey Mouse version, if that counts. And then obviously I know like the play Oliver. I know it's different than the book, but so we'll do Great Expectations. And then The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grame. I can't read my own handwriting. Anyway, the picture will be right here. Online recommended it to me. Chat recommended it to me, and it sounded very interesting. So we'll go with that one. Number 4 is When Crickets Cry by Charles Martin. I have another Charles Martin. I never read him before. I have another series of his on my radar that I'm hopefully going to read this month. So maybe that could just be another one of Charles Martin's books that I like. I know nothing about it, so we'll just kind of go from there. Adventure of Sherlock Holmes. I have heard great things about the book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I have seen adaptations out the wazoo about Sherlock Holmes, but I've actually never read the story, and so that needs to change. The Printed Letter Bookshop by Catherine Ray. I just got that in my newest book haul, and so I'm really excited to read it. I love Catherine Ray's books. She's one that I want to read to zero. And so I'm excited to kind of see what that story is about. There's a lot of books on the cover, which can't be a bad thing, right? The next 4 are all in the same series. So the first one is The Hobbit, and then the trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have read The Hobbit, but my experience was not great, and so I want to give it another shot. And then the trilogy, I have a client who I've worked with since she was about 5 years old. She loves them. She reads them. The whole family loves Lord of the Rings. They have like those giant Lego sets of different scenes from the movie. And so I want to read that trilogy so that I can kind of understand a little bit more about that whole universe, I suppose. Okay, another classic that I've heard so many good things about it is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. If I like this one, I will definitely read more of Elizabeth Gaskell because I think she has quite a few that I've heard really good things about. It's a classic. I want to read more classics. It worked. Number 12 is Under the Greenwood Tree by Thomas Hardy. I've read Far from the Maiden Crown. Oh, I loved it. This was just the next one on the list of recommendations for Thomas Hardy. So I thought, you know what? Cool. Let's try that one. Okay. So that same client that I worked with basically her entire life, she adores Brandon Sanderson, like adores him. Every time I'm over at their house, she's like, Miss Emily, have you read Brandon Sanderson yet? Have you read more of Brandon Sanderson? And her favorite series is The Oathbringer, those chunky ones that are like this big, that are heavier than my head. And I said, no, I haven't gotten to him yet. And I said, well, I didn't like how dark some of the Mistborn trilogy went. And so is that sort of similar? She's like, no, it goes a lot lighter. And so anyway, I'm going to try the first Oathbringer book, The Way of Kings. We will see how I like it. I hope I like it because it's something that I on paper should like. We'll see if that actually rings true. Okay, this next one I have never heard of before, but it was recommended to me by stupid ChatGPT. I shouldn't say that because we actually had it was a very interesting experiment to use it. Whatever. Okay, this is 14. The Blue Sword by Robin McKinley. I think it was a middle grade fantasy. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And it was published like in the 50s, I think. And I was like, this sounds so cool. So I'm gonna try it. We're gonna find out. The Outsiders, Hinton, S.E. Hinton, I think is the author. Anyway, I have heard really good things about this book. It is short, so I'm definitely interested in that book, The Outsiders. 16, Unknown Threat by Lynn H. Blackburn. I put in there that I love spy novels, making sure that they're kind of more on the clean side and no language. I hate language. And this is one that popped up. So I've never read a Lynn H. Blackburn before. We'll find out if I like Unknown Threat. We'll see. Okay. 17, Above Suspicion. This is sort of the spy section that I was interested in. Above Suspicion by Helen McClinnis. The picture's gonna be right here. Sorry, I can't read my handwriting. Another spy one. I think this was more published 40s, 50s, but all of the description said that it is still holds up today. It's like we were reading something that was published just this year. So we'll find out. The 39 Steps by John Buchan. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. The little description said sort of the epitome of spy novels. Published once again, 40, 50, 60, somewhere in that range. So it sounded really, really interesting. So we'll see how that goes. This experiment is just going to be really fun to kind of see what these new books bring into my life, because I know what I like and I will continue to like it, but expanding my reading horizon isn't a bad thing, right? Okay, 19 is The Gray Mask by Patricia Wentworth. I don't remember why I put this down there. Obviously, I was interested when I made this list earlier today. Number 20 is The Franchise Affair by Josephine Tey. This is all just still in those, the spy genre. 21 is The Crime at Black by Marjorie Allingham. The picture will be right here. 22, I've heard that Dorothy L. Sayers is a really fantastic author. And so when this popped up in my research, coming up with this list, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I should read. So the first one in that series is Whose Body? And I've heard really, really good things about not only the author, but the series and the book. So I have high hopes for that one. I think this next one is a middle grade. Once again, published back in the day. The Chess Street Oak by Kate Searcy. I'm not sure. It looked like a really, if I'm remembering correctly, a really cute middle grade. This next one I know for sure is middle grade. The Saturdays. I would love a funny middle grade that just is sort of an escape of reality type of thing. And The Saturdays came up by Elizabeth Enright. 25 is The Good Master by Kate Searcy. Again, so that same author as the previous couple ago. The Little White Horse by Elizabeth Goudge. I've heard Elizabeth Goudge on Booktube before, and so that was definitely on my radar. So when I saw her as one of the authors that was being recommended to me, I was like, oh yeah, I want to try that one for sure. And then The Lark Shall Sing. This looked like a really sweet story. I can't remember what it was about, but the synopsis sounded really cute. By Elizabeth Cadle. Alexis. No. Excellent Women by Barbara Pym. I might have written that wrong. I don't remember why I put this down, but I'm excited for it. That's all I know. A Most Agreeable Murder by Julia Seals. This is sort of going into my mystery section because I'm like, I love mysteries. These are some of my favorite authors. What are some that are similar to this? So this is what popped up. The Winds Are Not by S.J. Bennett. This one has been on my radar for a while. So when it popped up again, I said, oh, you know what? That's a great idea. It is where Queen Elizabeth is the sleuth, which I think is brilliant. So I'm really excited for that one. The London House by Catherine Ray. Once again, I love Catherine Ray. I want to read all of her books. So that was a definite one to put down. So then the next three are Agatha Christie. I love Agatha Christie. I would love to read her to zero too. That literally might take me my entire life because she has so many. I've read over a dozen of hers already, but so I have 3 on here. 5 Little Pigs, Crooked House, and 450 to Paddington. I think that's a Hercule Poirot, a Miss Marple, and then just an independent standalone one. So I think I've covered my bases with those 3. So then I wanted some nonfiction. I haven't read barely any nonfiction, at least this year. And I love reading nonfiction. I think it's it helps my brain expand, which is what I want to happen. I want to not have this go soft on me. So number 35 is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I have read, obviously, Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and then I've read the one with the demon, all I think of is Padwick letters. That's not right. Anyway, it'll come to me as soon as I stop recording. But the one with the letters back and forth. Screw tape letters. My brain is already becoming soft. So I've read those from C.S. Lewis already, so I want to read more of him. He's another one that I want to read all of his work. So Mere Christianity is on this list. Okay, so then another nonfiction that was recommended to me is Through Gates of Splendor. And I loved this because it's a missionary story in Ecuador. And my brother actually served his mission for our church in Ecuador. And it's going to be a little bit different, which I know going into it, that's totally fine. But just the fact, seeing sort of the perspective of that, by Elizabeth Elliot, seeing that perspective of Ecuador versus what I've heard from my brother, who served his mission in 2015, 16, somewhere in there, just to kind of see the difference of what I know and what I'll learn. So anyway, that one was definitely one I wanted to put on my list. 37, we are almost done. 1,000 Shall Fall, Marie Pendon. My handwriting, good grief. The picture is right here, friends. I think this is another missionary story, something along those lines. I'm not sure. It looked good in the moment when I made this list. So, 38, I have never read a Ruta Sepetys book. I've heard fantastic things all over YouTube. And so that is definitely one that I wanted to put on this list. And so I put on Between Shades of Grey. And then I wanted more nonfiction. So 3 Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome. And I put in something like, are there funny books? Like, I want some funny books. I like to laugh. I want more entertaining that way. And so this is the one that popped up, and it looked like maybe more of a middle grade, maybe? I can't remember for sure, but it looked funny. I do remember that. And then number 40, woohoo, we've made it. Irina Sandler and the Children of the Warsaw Ghetto by Corey Ann Hayden. Hey, Drew. Picture right there. Sorry, my handwriting is horrible right now, apparently. Anyway, this is about, if I'm remembering correctly, a woman during World War II who helped Jewish children in the Warsaw Ghetto kind of escape and things like that. I love those stories. So that sort of seemed right up my alley. I'm really excited for this project. I'm excited to see kind of what happens, where we go from here. I'm maybe going to find some new favorite authors, some new favorite series. We'll find out. All the books will be linked below. And if I have any links for them, some of them are older, so I don't know if links will be available, but if there are, they'll be down in the description box. So make sure you go check that out if any of those sound interesting. And if you want to read them with me, please, I would love that. I have tried starting a book club in real life for years. Like, that is not hyperbole, for years, and they never work out. So if you want to read them with me, please contact me. I would love that. In the comments below, let's chat. Let's do that. That would be so much fun. Make me so happy. And we shall chat very, very soon. Bye.